Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing today on this Saturday? I hope you guys had a wonderful Saturday. I had a busy Saturday. I've been working on this show all Saturday. I mean, all Saturday I've been working on this. This is a lot. Like Black Acres of the Gambia, honey. It's a lot like them. Like the information just keep coming in and coming in. So, how's everybody doing? My name is Kiki Loves Nigeria. I am the host of the show. Hey, Life Without Limits. I am the host of the show, and I am merely the host. All I do is talk. That's all I do. I just repeat what you guys tell me. And you guys are the people who really make up this show. All right. Everything in this show is about the community, the repat community. That's what I like to call you guys, the repat community. Even though we're not repatting, some of us aren't repatting. Some of us are just visiting. Some of us are expatting. Some of us are doing nothing. We're just listening. We're not going at all. But this channel and this show is for those people. It's for us. It's for our community. It's where we come and we make the public aware in our community of what's going on in our community. This is the channel where we come and we sound the alarm. And that's what we've been doing, and that's what we're going to continue to do. So sounding that alarm has put a lot of people in an uneasy position because you don't want to be the spotlight when this alarm's being sounded. You know, I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to be the spotlight either. But I personally wouldn't be doing anything to make me the spotlight. I just wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do anything to make me the spotlight. And these people are doing things that the community feels like is making them the spotlight. And once you become the spotlight, well, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just, you know, it doesn't seem to turn out well when the community shines the spotlight. Because it can't be me because I'm not in Ghana. I've never been to Ghana. Never. And I don't have any interest in going to Ghana. So it can't be just me. It has to be people giving me this information. It has to be people who are upset about what they see, upset about what they experience. And that's what this is all about. People who've been mistreated, people who feel like they have no other recourse but to come on to give it to me so they can at least share it with you all and tell you all, hey, don't make the same mistakes that I made. Don't do this. That's what this is really all about. And then for people to risk now, you know, we all receiving these defamation letters and these lawsuit threats. We're all being threatened. And for what? Because we told the truth, because they told their truth, and I repeated their truth, and I gave them a platform to tell their truth. Because it was the truth according to them. And according to the documents they had. But now let's get this clear though. So this is what people have to understand. When we're talking about criminal things, like saying people committed crimes, okay? On this channel, it's only alleged, all right? It's alleged because, and I tell you that all the time, unless it's been tried in a court of law, we can only say alleged. Even if you believe it with all of your heart, that's your opinion, and you're entitled to believe it with all of your heart. You know, but you can't say that person has been convicted and that person has been tried and that person, you know, is guilty when they haven't been to court yet. So that's one thing we have to understand is that everything, and I thought I was clear on that, but obviously they're not. You know, it's alleged unless we say a court case, unless I have a receipt that is a court case. All right. So it's alleged. Now, it has to be a place where people come to. You know, it has to be a place where people feel comfortable, where people feel like they trust you and they can share with you what is going on in this community, because this Pan-African space is known for this grifting. Now this is, let me get this clear too, because people act like they don't understand this part. This is all my opinion. All right. This is all my opinion. from the facts that I receive, from the information that I receive. All right. And a fact, again, is, let me explain. I'm going to explain that to y'all in a minute, what a fact is, because people don't even understand what a fact is. And that's okay if you don't understand or if you forgot. But we're going to look at that. Oh, these are really nice pictures. We're going to look at that and we're going to talk about that. So you guys will know, all right, what a fact really is, because I don't even think you guys understand that. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm looking at my niece's prom pictures. Those are really nice pictures. Let me tell her those are really nice pictures. So, if you don't know so that's what we're talking about tonight. What else do I need to say? I need to say everything is alleged. I need to say fair use. Oh, we use other people's material, also copyrighted content on this channel to help this channel be a fact-based space. That's what I want it to be, a place that is based on facts. That's why I require you, before I even present your story, I require you to have a receipt. And a receipt is a fact. It's a contract. It's an image. It's something in writing, okay? Or it's a sometimes I get voice clips from WhatsApp. I get conversations. I get videos. Those are all things where I can go back and I can say, no, I didn't make this up. Any reasonable person who would see this material would come to the same conclusion that I would come to. And this is just it's an opinion, because how else could it be anything other than an opinion, people? I'm not a judge, I'm not God. So how could it be anything other than simply my opinion? All right, that I'm basing off of what I am seeing or off what I am hearing. All right, so that's why I use copyrighted material, because I want to use it as an example to help you all understand what a primary source is. YouTube is full of primary sources. All right, you can take this video and you can present this in a court of law, and this is evidence that can be used. All right, everything I'm showing to you is evidence that can be used in a court of law because it's a primary source. It's not he say, it's not she say, it's not they say. Okay. So that's what we're talking about tonight. Let me get over here to the script. I did fair use, I did alleged, and I also did opinions. All right. And opinions, everybody has an opinion. Everybody may not agree with what I have to say. Everybody may not like what I have to say, but they're entitled to that. All right. And they're entitled to feel the way they feel. All right. So you can come and you can say your opinion, but you got to back it up with something. You can't just come on here and say, just spew lies, because that's what they become, lies, if you can't base it up you can't back it up with the fact. So you can't just say, I don't like somebody. Okay, but you don't like them for what reason? What's the reason? Oh, that person lies. Well, how do you know they're lying? What did they lie about? You see what I mean? Then you tell us what they lied about. Then it's, oh, okay, so this person believes they lied because of this situation. That's totally different from you just coming on here saying, oh, they lied. Okay, so now that we got all the rules on the table, we got all the cards on the table. Let me go back up here to my script, because this is a lot. This is a whole lot. I wanted to give you guys, when I came tonight, I wanted to talk about this because I've gotten more emails from people who have been contacted by Daniel since the last time we spoke, since Monday. And I was really disturbed by that because, I feel like people should have a right to complain. If a consumer doesn't get what they paid for, or if the consumer feels like what they paid for was not what they expected, and they have a right to say, I didn't like it. They have a right to say that I feel like you owe me money for this. I have a right to say I didn't get what I paid for. Consumers have that right. And that's another thing we do on this channel, because we spend lots of money going to Africa, lots of money. And all too often, we have nobody who cares about how we're misused and abused for our money, because of our money. Although, you know, our government does warn us about this land stuff in Ghana. They warn us 100% not to enter into it. I even believe they call it scamming. Land scamming. I believe that's what they label it. Excuse me. Even though they do enter, they warn us about it, for some reason, people still engage in this activity. And just because they engage in this activity, that doesn't mean that it's okay. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. It doesn't mean that it's okay for them to be taken advantage of. It doesn't mean that. And it doesn't mean that they should not have a place where they can go and they can say, talk to like-minded people and say, hey, this was my experience. And then another person come and say, hey, this is my experience. You know, people need that. Like-minded people need to come together and talk about issues. And that's what we do on this channel. And that's what happened with Daniel King. It was more than one person. And you all saw it was more than one person. And the people who are contacting me now, some of them never contacted me. So these are new people. New people still contacting me with the same stories. But yet this man is sending threatening letters, trying to intimidate us and trying to extort nearly $60,000 from me. That's how I took it. Because I'm doing nothing but a public service. So for my public service, for my work that I do for the public, to bring awareness to the public, what happens, he sends me a threatening letter saying he's going to sue me unless I pay him $60,000 and take down all my videos and apologize to him. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? He said because the banks, 4 of his bank accounts were closed down. The bank closed them down. That had nothing to do with me. The banks don't watch videos. So why are you trying to extort $60,000 from me? It's more than 60,000. I think it's like 63. Then you have 2 cases with CIFSA in the UK, which is an nonprofit anti-fraud agency. I guess it's like, you know, it's like a watchdog or something. I'm not quite sure. I think that's what it is. But I know it has something to do with anti-fraud. And you yourself, he's saying this stuff. He's telling us this is his situation. In these letters, he's telling everybody he's contacted, he's told us the same story. And somehow it's all our fault. And some of the people he even contacted, y'all, he's demanding that they tell him whether they are the ones who wrote the bank and reported him for fraud. He's demanding that they tell him that. And if they don't tell him that, if they don't answer those questions, he's going to file a suit against them. I'm not lying. I have the receipts. And I told you, I wrote the Federal Trade Commission today. Because now you've made me a victim of your nonsense. Now you've made me a victim because now you're demanding that I give you money. Because I'm a YouTube content creator and I shared people's stories. Let me get y'all comments. High Life Without Limits. Kofo Blue says, I wish you were around when I traveled to Nigeria several times back in 2018. Oh yeah, Nigeria was nice back then. It's so messed up now. It's just heartbreaking to see how it is now. It was really fun. It was really nice. Hi, T&K. Of all the perps, DK bothers me the most. You know what? Me too. Because what he did to me, what bothers me the most about it is that He tried to blame the people for what he did to them. Now, this is, again, my opinion from what I've seen and what I've heard. From what I've seen, what I've read, and what I've heard, it was like he tried to make these people who didn't get their product, who didn't get this land, make them feel like it was something they did wrong. Because remember, you weren't patient enough. You weren't humble enough. You didn't kiss my ass enough. So if you didn't get your papers and you didn't get your land, that was your fault. To me, and when I say to me, that means my opinion, people. To me, that was the worst of it all. Worst thing of all. The worst thing of all is when you try to make somebody hate themselves, or when you try to make somebody dislike something about themselves. And that's what I got too. That's what I picked up too, that he was trying to make these people feel like something was wrong with them as to why why they lost their money. And I guess it's the pain. I told you, it's got to, like we talked about, it's got to be, these people shared their raw emotions with us. Not one of these people who came and told us their stories, not one of them put on any kind of air, any kind of front. Even poor Bernard, not one. They opened their heart and they shared their story with us. They shared their pain with us. You know how hard that is to share your pain with somebody? That's a whole different thing. To share your pain with the world, with people you don't even know. But you want to share this pain because you know what? I don't want you to go through this pain. I don't want that for you. And that's what these people did. And for that, they're being punished. Daniel thinks he's going to punish them by threatening to sue them. By threatening to sue them, demanding they do something, putting extra pressure. Now, to me, in my opinion, that's harassment. That's not right. You're putting pressure. These people have already lost money. Ghana Bound said in a video, he did a response video. I'm gonna show it to y'all. He got a letter too. Ghana Bound got a letter. This couple I've never even met, don't even know, never heard their story before, and they got a letter. And guess why they got a letter, y'all? Because they was in the daggone comment section. They got a letter because they dared to go to the comment section in my videos. And he said that. You were in the comment section of Kiki Loves Nigeria. He said my channel was under investigation for harassment and defamation. That's a lie. My channel is not under investigation for nothing. Nothing. I'm in the YouTube content creator community. They have a whole community that I'm a part of. Everybody's not in that. You got to be selected to go to that. So how am I being how is my channel? See, that's a lie. That's a lie. And that's trying to defame my character, because that's an outright lie. And he knows it's a lie. He knows that's a lie. But he's putting this in his little letters and sending it to people with my legal name. Now, how did he get my legal name? How did you do that, Daniel? How did you do that? I don't use my legal name on YouTube. How did you do that? And now he's sending it to everybody. All the 4 letters they got, those people, they all had my legal name in there. Yeah, I don't use my legal name. He has no right to use my legal name. That's not a legal document he sent us. That's his nonsense he did on AI. I know what AI looks like and sounds like. Y'all know AI is my best friend. So he needs to stop. I know AI when I see it and when I read it. Yeah, this because this is wrong. This is wrong. This puts undue pressure on these people. And most people don't know how to react when they get these type of letters. You know, they feel like, you know, they got to do something. They don't know their rights. So, you know, that's like, oh, I got to go spend money. I got to get an attorney. I got to do this. I got to do that. But this is why I felt like, in my case, when I got the letter, I felt like this was intimidation. I felt like you're trying to intimidate me and you're trying to extort money from me. That's exactly how I felt when I got the letter, because none of this, everybody know what I showed. I went back through my videos before I even contacted the Federal Trade Commission. I went back through my videos and I asked AI to tell me if this content creator accused this person of being a scammer. No, she didn't. And she said several times what she's saying is her opinion. Several times. She says things are alleged. Not one time did AI come back and say, yep, you sure did. Yep, you presented a lie as a fact. No, I don't do that. I know how to present research, people. I'm a trained researcher. Researchers present facts. We know how to, that's what they teach us to do, separate facts from opinions. We present facts. And then we give our conclusion, our analysis of the facts. And that's what I do on here for free. If you paid me to do this, this would cost you a lot of money. A lot. But I do it for free because I enjoy free research, for one, and I get to research something I really love. And this is this repack community, this movement we're doing. So I've researched the facts. I can't research an opinion. How do I research that? Hi, Susan. How you doing? It's from him, but it's an AI. It's something he just generated from AI. You know, because for one, you can tell it's an AI. Once you use AI, you can tell AI. So you know it's not and it's the same format. Like I looked at the letters and it's the same. It's the same font. It's the same format. Everything is the same. Some of the wording has changed because little people, I mean, different ones he accused of different things, you know. But I was the one he went after the hardest. And that was because I dared to give these people a platform to come to do this on. You know, I dared to open up my YouTube channel. That's why he's demanding I give him over $60,000. Now remember, after I got the case, the story, it had already blown up, which is a timeline that I can prove. He said it was my fault. But we talked about that last week. They're saying hi. It's only defamation. It's only defamation if it's not true. He doesn't have a case. Banks have lawyers. They decide to shut an account, not an accusation from the public. No, they don't. They don't do that. He must have done something the bank doesn't like. Exactly. And 4 of them have done that, and not including the CIFSA place. So these people he's writing, you know, I don't want them to be worried. I don't want them to be stressed. Because these people have documents for days of what happened to them. You know, nobody came and none of these people lied on him. None of them. He's completely delusional. Life Without Limits says he ranted for 4 hours about his victims. Remember that? But he took all those videos down, but I got him on my channel. and how he was the Messiah. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be smacking like that, but look, I got all of that stuff. I have all of that because y'all know I keep receipts for days. I have receipts for days. So it doesn't matter to me. I have the receipts. It's called blame the victim, Liz. And that's what he's doing. But he's using the legal system to kind of harass them, you know, to try to, I don't know what this behavior is called. Oh, it's called SLAPP. That's what it's called. I looked it up. This is a pattern. This is what people do, according to this litigation. Kiki, not one person would say you're lying unless it's another scammer. They can't, because the information is right there. The information is right there. He'd be popped in Jamaica pulling that. He was in Jamaica, remember? And they ran him out. Hey, Mr. Dorcas, remember that? He left. Remember his wife said she had ate that Aki fruit? And they went to Jamaica. Remember, they left and went to Jamaica, and someone said she was sick. She got sick there and she left. Do you think Black Acres of the Gambia gave Daniel your legal name? I think it was either them or they're flying monkeys. That's what I think. Because they're the only people who know it. Nobody cares about my legal name. Just like I don't care about their legal names, you know? I don't even think Quasi know my legal name. You know, the people who know me, I don't even think Nima knows my legal name. I don't even think John knows my legal name. The people who talk to me in real life, I don't even think they know my legal name. Because nobody thinks about that. Nobody cares about that. But these people who want to try to do some kind of wrong, some kind of dirt to you, you know, they want to run because their legal name is run through the dirt. Again, this is my opinion why they do this. Their legal name is run to the dirt and it means nothing. So they want to take your professional legal name and run it through the dirt and it means nothing. But you can't do that. That's illegal. Why wouldn't he known him? Why wouldn't we have even known him if victims hadn't contacted you? Remember TNK? Remember I didn't even know him. Ghana Bound came on here. Remember he came on here one night and we were talking about, I forgot who we was talking about, but we was laughing. It might have been Black Acres because we was on here laughing. And he came on here and he was talking about Life with the Kings is scamming. And I was like, I don't know who Life with the Kings are. And blah. And we laughed about it for a minute. And then I went to their video channel and I looked at them and I was like, I don't know these people. You know, I didn't think nothing else about it. Well, then somebody else wrote me. I think Ghana Bound wrote me and he sent me like receipts like of what was going on. And then Bernard, I seen Bernard's video. Bernard's video just showed up on my timeline. And then Ghana Bound's video just showed up on my timeline. And then that's how we started getting involved. The information started coming. And then people started writing. And then it just got more and more and more. It was crazy how these people just started contacting me. And I have all of that. He was basically threatening his victims. Yep, he sure was, and I have it. I have that live stream. Remember, he took all of that down. But YouTube has it too. So if the court wanted, the court can get it. People get poisoned in Jamaica, TNK said. Well, she came back, honey, because they said she was sick. They said she was sick and she came back. Okay, so let me go to the script to see where we are because I got a lot. All right, so I got the disclaimers up out the way. All right, so I want to welcome everybody back. Y'all know we bring public awareness. That's what we do on this platform. We already talked about that, what the channel does. And tonight, again, we're talking about Daniel and the allegations about this land scamming in Ghana and how he's upset now and he's blaming everybody and he's sending out all kind of attacks again. These letters, these legal notices, they're not even legal notices. It's something that he's coming up with. He's writing people and he's sending people this you know, and in my view, I felt like mine was done nothing more to just, you know, and try to intimidate me, try to harass me, and try to extort 60 something thousand dollars out of me. That's the way I took it. You got 28 days to, you must give me this money. You got 28 days to reply. What? No, no. And what was I guilty of? What was my crime? I had not been found guilty of nothing in a court of law. Oh, and if you don't remember, and also, if you don't give me the money, I'm going to contact your employer. What? Because you let these people come on your channel and tell their story. All right, now this is what we're going to go through tonight. So first thing, before we start, I need to get you guys to understand something, what a fact and opinion is before we move on. All right. If you can use evidence that's measurements, all right, anything that you can measure, anything you can record to prove something is true or false is a fact. If you can prove it's true or you can prove it's false, it's a fact, okay? If I can prove that chair is black, then that's a fact, right? That means a fact is you're going to come, the next person who come behind me going to say that chair is black. Next person, that chair is black, all right? But hold on. No, that's not true because people can see colors differently. So that ain't a good example. So let me back up. Let me do something else. Let me do what they said, something that's measurable. If you can use evidence, measurements, or records to prove it true or false, it is a fact. If it is a personal feeling, a belief, or a preference that can't be proven by a third party, it is an opinion. So let me tell you some quick comparisons, okay? Facts are objective and observable. So they're not going to change from person to person. They can be proven to be true or they can be proven to be false. All right. They remain constant. A fact is always going to be the same thing. It remains constant across different people. A contract is a contract. That contract is not going to change when it reaches me or when it reaches the court. That contract is going to be the same thing. Contract I have and showed you is the same contract the court people will have and that they're going to see. All right. That is called a fact. That's why I deal in facts, because in case I've ever was in a situation like this, I knew I would have facts that I could present and say, this is where the information came from. All right. And these people who contacted me, they are in the same situation. This is their facts. This is their proof. This is where their truth came from. My experience with you and your contracts. What you wrote and told me you were going to do, but you did not do. These are all things that we can present to the court if need be. You see what I'm saying? It's not nothing we're going to just say, well, I thought he said this, or I thought, no, we don't think and we don't feel. We have facts on this channel. And that's why I do that. That's exactly why I do that. Because people will try to twist what you say. But you can't twist a fact because a fact is going to be the same like this. This is a fact, all right? When water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and it does. It freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. No matter where you are, if you have a Fahrenheit thermometer, water's going to freeze at 32. That's a fact. It's never going to change. That contract is not going to change. That picture is not going to change. That video is not going to change unless it's altered. Somebody got to go in and do something to it. That is a fact, and it will remain a fact to the end of time. After we're gone, these videos will still be here. Now, those are facts. Now, opinions. They're subjective and they're personal. That's why I said the chair, the color black, that ain't a good one. Because some people see black as different colors, all right? Because that's subjective and it's personal. So that wasn't good at all. Okay, an opinion cannot be proven as true or false. You see what I mean? It can't. An opinion cannot be proven as true or false. I feel like I'm being extorted for money. Can y'all prove that is true or false? We can say what we think, but we can't prove it. The judge got to prove that. The court has to prove that. They have to say so. The Federal Trade Commission has to say, well, we think you're being extorted too. And that's what I did. Well, I did what I told you all to always do. Because I don't play with people like that. Now, that's what, and then also, let me give you an example of opinion. If I say winter is the best season, can we prove that to be true? No. It's just what you think. I don't like winter. I can't stand winter. You see what I mean? So those are the difference between facts and opinions. And that's what I want you guys to understand before we move any further. So we got that out the way. And let me see if there's some things on here. All right. If it's a chair, it's a chair. Now, that's it. That's a good one, TNK. Right. The chair. It's going to be a chair no matter what. It's going to be a table no matter what. That's a fact. You see what I'm saying? So the receipts that I have, they're going to be those receipts no matter what. Those email exchanges are going to still be those email exchanges no matter who reads them. They're still the same. And it's with the people who sent them to me. It's still the same. The facts still remain the facts. We still, and they're going to be that no matter who reads them. No matter who reads them. Those receipts, where do you think I got those receipts from? Those people sent me the receipts. And I have tons more. I had so many receipts on Daniel, I could not even use them all. Hello, Dove. Hey, London lady, how you doing? She says, grand evening to everybody. Hey, TNK, she says she hopes all is well. Hey, y'all, yeah, please hit the like button to support the truth. Yeah, y'all go ahead and do that for us. All right, and then Dove says, so true. Okay, so let's get back over here to this. All right, so let's look at Ghana Bound's video. All right, so Ghana Bound also, he got a letter. All right, he got a letter. And he was the first one to write me and to tell me about his letter. All right, so let me show y'all. Well, I'll show y'all his letter first, and I'll show y'all his video. So he got a cease and desist. Hold on, let me show y'all his letter. Share screen. All right. All right, so this is his letter, okay? Put this over here a little bit. All right, now this is his letter that he received from Daniel. And he got this. He wrote me, I think, that night, and he told me he had received this letter from Daniel. No, he came on the show and he told us, okay? He says, I'm writing to put you on formal notice. Now, remember how my letter was presented. This is pretty much the same thing. On formal notice about me on YouTube. The publications have been published multiple videos. You have published multiple videos on YouTube containing false and defamatory statements about me included, but not limited to, and this not limited to a video entitled I Was Scammed in Ghana by a man who thinks he's the Messiah. He was calling himself the Messiah, stating a fact in your title that I scammed you and mocking my faith. Okay, so he's saying because Ghana Bound made this video, said that he felt like he scammed him, that he's gonna sue him for that. Okay, the third thing he's gonna sue him for. The video entitled Delusional Little Man with hashtags including scammer, loser, and ungodly. They are direct defamatory names calling published to be a public audience. Direct defamatory name calling published to a public audience. So he's saying you called him a name to the public, and he wants he wants him held liable for that. The video titled, "Why Are You Not Building in Ghana Anymore?" Tagging my channel directly, framing your experience as a scam rather than a business dispute. Now, those are two different things. A scam and a business dispute. That's interesting. The videos have been downloaded, preserved with metadata, and their content cataloged and evidence. He said the same thing to me, and he listed all of my videos. Remember that? He said I had 32 videos, something like that. The statements are false. I hold 2 formal stool leases. This is when he's talking about the stool lease. He told us again. Your own original video acknowledged that I seem pretty legit. No, he did. Okay, so this is when he was saying that, you know, we seen all this. This was all in the other thing, the other letter. When he's saying that Ghana Bound said in the beginning, you know, he thought that he was a good guy. Of course he thought that, because he wouldn't have done business with you if he thought he was a bad person. So he thought he was a good person, but things turned out differently. So he's Daniel saying this is the harm that Ghana Bound has caused. Now listen to how close this sounds to the same thing he said about me. Your videos have contributed to a coordinated campaign of defamation that has resulted in the closure of 4 UK bank accounts. Now, who have the US bank accounts closed? Who resulted in it? I'm confused. Was it me? Was it Daniel? I mean, was it me? Was it Ghana Bound? Was it this couple I'm going to tell you about next? Or was it Regina? Who was it? I'm confused. Which one was it? Because you're saying we all did it. That we somehow got the bank to do this, to close four different banks through our videos to close different bank accounts down. This is the same thing I told y'all. This is the same thing he wrote to me. 2 CIFAS fraud markets on my name expiring in 2/30 and 2/31. Okay, same thing. Coordinated Stripe chargebacks, same thing. He said, death threats against my family. I don't know anything about that. Forced us to flee Ghana. So they said the people in Ghana were threatening him because they owe him money. That had nothing to do with me. Now, I think that had more about to do with the money he was owing those people that were coming there, and they were, you know, Daniel was ignoring those people. But I don't know. That's just my opinion from what I've been told. My family, being homeless for 203 days with 3 children. That's the same thing he blamed me for. Remember, he said that was my fault too. All right, so this is the same thing that I'm telling you. He's just sending this around to different people. All right, so that's the first thing that had me thinking, what is really going on here? So let me stop sharing that one. So that's when I was like, what is really going on here? You know, if this guy is really, I mean, if we've done all of this, if I did all this to him, why are you accusing Ghana Bound of the same thing? That doesn't make sense. If you truly feel like Kiki Loves Nigeria, did this to you, why are you writing the same letter to Ghana Bound? That's what threw me off. I'm like, what? And then I receive an email. First, let me get y'all comments. I receive an email. Somebody I never talked to before in my life. It was one, maybe 2 people, but there were several victims coming out of the woodwork. It was a lot. Hey, Susan, delusional little man. Yeah, that's why he got mad. It's not a business dispute if the bank shut you down, TNK says. Good afternoon, Jam Jars. Hey, Steph, how you doing? It's good to see you, girl. Is T3 and me something like that? Proud to be simp. Proud to be a simp. Oh, okay. Says, is T3 and me or something like that doing wrong? It depends on what you mean doing wrong. What do you mean by doing wrong? You have to ask that. That's an objective question. I don't know what wrong is. Wrong can mean a lot of different things. So what do you mean, are they doing wrong? What's the probability of 4 banks coming at the same conclusion and acting in accordance? Yeah. But you want me to pay you $60,000, $63,000, and 4 banks shut down your accounts. And I didn't write any of them. I didn't write any one of those banks. I told you the only person I contacted was after he tried to demand, he demanded that I give him $63,000. Then I contacted the Federal Trade Commission. Let me finish this one. Jam Jar says hi. What happened to the tents, TNK? Well, when they got all this money, this is what people were telling me, people who were in Ghana at that time. Now, I can only say I have some receipts where people were telling me about their living conditions. And then I have most of this did come from written sources. Yeah. But people were saying that, when they got this money, they spent all this money, they moved out of the tent and they moved to this luxury apartment. They never finished the house and they moved to this luxury apartment and they were living really nice there. And they felt like this is where all the money was going. This is what people were thinking. That's just that's rumors and allegations. Again, this is all alleged because nobody knows really where the money was going unless we actually see the bank accounts, the bank statements. Kiki is in her element, and so I am here for it. Love this educator. Oh, thank you. We missed you. Let's see. He's throwing paperwork around, hoping something will stick. Exactly. Because the letter to, let me get these comments before I read the next one. But the thing about it is some people can get scared from this. Some people will feel nervous about this. Some people will feel like, this can cause undue stress into somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? This is not nothing to play with, to write these type of letters, these legal demanding letters to people, hoping that somebody will fall for it, hoping that somebody's gonna, I don't know what he wants you to do. I really don't. Oh, yes, I do. He gave a list. He wants me to give him $60,000, $63,000. TNK says, well, 3, they have a bad reputation. Yeah, it's good to see you. He's pulling a fast one, London lady, trying to get some pounds. The bank wouldn't have him down on heresy. They must have had some evidence. Yes, and that's the thing. To try to defame my character and these emails that he's sending around. I'm under investigation from your defamation for what? I'm not under no investigation. That's a whole lie. Now, he knows it's a lie. He should be, if I'm under investigation for defamation, he should be able to give you some paperwork showing you that. He should be able to give you paperwork showing you that. And harassment. He should be able to, especially from YouTube doesn't allow that. So he's the one that lies. Wait. Are that, what do you mean? You gotta, okay. So we're going to be careful with the word scamming, okay? So tell me what you mean when you say scamming, okay? Like, what do you mean? Like, define scamming, because scamming is an objective word, all right? So we got to be clear from now on what we mean when we say scamming, okay? So let's be clear with that. What do we mean? The opinion of hundreds of people is that he is doing wrong and he has victims too. Yeah, that's a good answer. Always go to watch out for other people with this most high and this most lie stuff. Yes, using religion is common tactic to scam. Mods and chat out. Okay. Hey, Debo. Kiki, you could send all of us 60,000 instead. We could all do with the making of some living. Thank you, honey. I bet those letters are bogus for forgeries. They're just his letters he made up on AI. So let me show you this one. Okay, that was Ghana Bound's letter. All right. So Regina, I don't know. I don't want to say her name. It was another lady who received a message. All right. And her message was ridiculous. It was crazy. It was all over the place. And let me go up here so I can show you this one. Well, no, I'm going to just tell you about it because I don't want you to see these names on here. Okay. Well, so this one is another cease and desist letter. Okay. And he's demanding that she go. First, the thing that was really crazy about this one, let me go see what y'all looking at. The first thing that was really crazy about this letter is that he was demanding, y'all, he wanted to know, and I have to ask her, can I show it to y'all? But he wanted to know if she was demanding that she disclose whether she contacted the bank or not. He wanted to know that. He said that he was demanding that she tell him whether she was the one who wrote the bank. All right. And he was demanding that she tell him that. She was also demanding that she write the bank to retract statements that she had written to the bank so he could get his accounts back open. This was crazy, all right, what he was demanding that this lady would do. So I'm like, wait a minute. When I read that, I'm like, oh, this sounds crazy. So, I'll put it in my friend AI because I'm not a lawyer, but AI has a legal a database where they have information where lawyers put in information in AI, okay? So we're going to use AI. I used AI to answer some questions for me. So I asked AI, let me see. Let's see what this one is. All right, so this is going to go to what I already have up. All right, so let me go over here and show it to y'all what AI said about this. He said that the cease and desist by intimidation. And see, you got to remember, let me explain this to y'all too. All right. Daniel King and Kiki Loves Nigeria are what they consider public figures. All right. So laws for public figures are different. These laws are different. They apply differently to public figures than they do to private citizens. These people who are complaining about Daniel, who do not have YouTube channels, are considered private citizens. Okay. So that's another thing you have to understand. They have a right to more privacy than a public figure. Okay. All right, so hold on. So it says here, he sent her a cease and desist. And when a public figure is under fire, they may use what they call these legalese, all right? And it's section, okay, so they're talking about the death. Well, I don't want to read that. And they use this, they said, to scare people into deleting videos or stopping discussions. Because see, he said Regina was leading these discussions about him. She would get people together and she would start groups and they would all get together and share their experiences. He did not want her to do that. He wanted her to stop doing that. And in his letter, he was demanding that she didn't do that anymore. Okay. So you got to remember that with these people, the goal isn't necessarily that they win in court, but it's to make a problem for you. Okay. They want you to be under stress. All right. That's what the goal is for people who do this type of stuff. All right. Now, this is my opinion because I'm not a doctor, but this is what I think. And this is what I'm reading this from what an analysis. All right. So they want to discredit the whistleblower. That's another thing these letters are for. The messages mentioned. Now, these are actual messages that I got from her, that you are telling people they are a scammer. So he's mad because people are saying he's a scammer and that he's a fraud. All right. By framing your complaints as defamatory, They are trying to flip the narrative, making you the bad actor and themselves the victim of the campaign. And that's what you got to remember. That's what is going on here. All right. Things are trying to be flipped on us to make us think we caused all of this. But no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Nobody caused all of this except for the person who did not keep their end of the business deal and then stopped communicating with people and then didn't give these people anything back. No land, no money, no nothing. It was so bad the people just said, forget it. I'm just going to give up on it and I'm just going to let it go. All right. Proof of financial issues as a shield. Now, this is what this is the stuff that was in the letter. The sender acknowledges their bank accounts were closed. Daniel acknowledges that his bank accounts are closed. There's no doubt. He said they're closed, 4 of them. And they are in, he's also in CIFAS databases, all right? AI says this is a massive red flag that they're about their credibility. In the UK, CIFAS markers are only applied when there are high suspicions of fraud. Now, this is why he wanted her to write. He's demanding in this letter that she write the bank and tell them she made it up. He's demanding that but he doesn't even know if she wrote these people or not. He's just saying, I want you to do it. You need to admit to me that you did it, and you need to contact the bank. They are trying to blame your reports to their financial they're trying to blame your reports on their financial trouble to create legal damages claim. Exactly. But banks rarely close accounts solely based on a few WhatsApp messages or YouTube videos without their own investigation. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All right. This bank is not going to do this without investigating. They're not. They're not. This is the same thing he wrote me that he wrote Regina. This is the same thing he's saying to Gottenbound. It's the same pattern. It's the same letter that we're all did the same. We all supposedly done the same thing to him. Let me go finish reading you this. All right. Then finally, why intimidation is the right word. The mention of court proceedings and legal costs is designed, listen, y'all, to make a regular person panic about money. People do this. This is designed to make a regular person panic about money. They are counting on the fact that most people cannot afford a legal battle and will choose to delete their content or stay silent than risk it. That's what they're counting on, that they're going to scare you into submission. They're going to scare you. He's going to scare me into giving him this $63,000 because I'm going to be scared that he's going to take me to court and that I'm going to have to pay all this money and that I'm going to lose all this money. So I might as well just pay this $63,000 to make him go away and leave me alone. How sad is that? Truth in defense. This is what matters. In most jurisdictions, if what you are saying is true, they actually have customer complaints against them. It is very difficult for them to win defamation claims. The standard effect. Often when public figures try to silence critics, in this way, it actually draws more attention to the original complaints because they're going to say, why is this lady complaining? Why is this lady complaining? Why is this lady talking to people? Why are people with the same issue contacting this lady? You see what I mean? So that was Regina's letter. Regina's letter was pretty much just like my letter, pretty much like Ghana Bound's letter, pretty much like everybody's letter. We all got the same type of letter. All right. Sorry again, meaning poisoning to give people land. Oh, promising to give people land and build a house. Oh, hey, John, how you doing? I just got your message. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I've been so busy. You should obtain a lawyer and registered. Yeah, they should have. They need to. I'm just going to stay away from them. When you watch their videos and how they build and employ people to help build the property, you say, wow, they're really doing it. Then all of this comes up. Yes. I mean, you got to pay attention to that. Hey, team member, you should never come to Africa. Stay in America. Africa is horrible. How you know? Have you been there? How would you even guess that she reported him to the bank? I don't know, but he did. He wants to know if she did. He thinks it was her, and he thinks that he wants her to admit it was. He wants her to admit she did it. And now I'm serious. And she wants him to write the bank and tell the bank he did it. She did it, and then he wants her to reinstate it, like say she didn't do it and that he didn't do anything. Darvo deny attack, reverse victim offender. Interfering with potential witnesses is also a crime. Also, there aren't even illegal cease and desist. They are actually extortion emails or even blackmail. That's how I feel. He could be reported, and that's what I did. I did report him for that because that's what that is. That's not a court telling me, you know how courts will tell you got so long to pay this money, or or we're going to do whatever. No, he told me I got to give him $63,000 in 28 days. In 28 days, or he's going to take me to court. Yeah, that is extortion. That's how I looked at it. That's why I reported him to the Federal Trade Commission. All right, now let me show y'all what Ghana Bound did. Let me show y'all Ghana Bound's video. So he made a response video to him, sharing his experience, because nobody has time for that. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to open this other video. All right. This is a video that Ghana Bound did. This is a video he did about his experience. Well, once he got the hold on, y'all. I'm trying to open this video. Once he got this email, he did a video. All right. Now let me get the video up here. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me try to get it up here. It ain't opening up. Hold on. Let's watch this one. Hold on, y'all. All right. This is a video he did about this. Let me make sure y'all can see it. All right. Let's check this out real quick. Again, this is fair use.
This morning. Like I tell you, I'm going to tell you the good and the bad about moving to Ghana, man.
Bro, I have good news and bad news.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, this is part of the bad when it comes to like leasing land in Ghana, man. We leased land over 3 years ago from this guy, Daniel King, Life of the King. As you can look him up on YouTube. He was ended up being a big fraud, running off with over 200 people's money, running to Accra, hid out for a long time, and found his way back to UK where he's originally from. So it wasn't a Ghanaian that was doing this. That's why I place people here, because it's not all Ghanaians doing bad stuff, man. A lot of Ghanaians are doing good stuff, but you also have other entities doing bad stuff. But we had a whole thing going on with this guy for a while, trying to get our money back, because we gave him 4,000 USD, not CDs, but $4,000. and he took everybody's money and ran off with it. You know, so I did a couple of videos explaining the situation of how it happened, and basically, you stay away from this guy, man. If he's hitting you up online telling you to come buy some land in Ghana, hey, don't listen to him. We told a couple of people about him. That's why I felt it was my duty to let people know that you know, we got burned by this guy. You know, we got burnt by him. So hey, don't send him your money. Even if you heard me say that previously when we got to Ghana, don't send this guy your money. He's going to take your money. So, you know, this guy, it's been like over a year now where this guy was running. And to find out when everybody's hitting us back up saying, you know, the guy made it back to the UK, he's gone. They froze all his bank accounts. They did all this kind of stuff. And the guy's on hard times right now.
Now, how is that
so, you
my
know, man, after that, I just let it go, man. I'm saying, you know, the money's gone. Let me keep enjoying the time here.
Let's go.
But I wake up yesterday.
So I'm pausing that for a second. We're going to go back to that. So how was that? See what I'm saying? This Daniel has found himself in a pickle. He has found himself in a pickle. All right. And now he's looking for somebody to blame. He's looking for somebody he can easily get some money from, you know, to try to help himself, his situation out. But how did I have anything to do with this? All these people know he's in this situation. I didn't know it because I don't know nothing about him. But he's saying that I did it. He's saying Ghana Bound did it. He's saying the other lady did it. He's saying the couple did it. He's saying everybody did it. I thought that was interesting. Hold on, let me get back over here.
And I woke up to a cease and desist letter from him saying, remove all my videos that I put up of him scamming us off the platform, or he will take this to court. I'm going to show the letter here too.
Same thing I got.
Two answers on the board. Things you can't live without.
Crack.
You know.
What?
So, you know, even when people do you wrong, these crazy people here sometimes sit in there and bask in their ego and their ignorance, bro.
Yeah.
And think you could still send me a letter saying, don't tell anybody else about the badness I've been doing. You know, it got me mad again for a little second, but I done caught myself, man, because like I said, that's a lot of money to let somebody just get up and walk off with, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to let you guys know early, like when you're trying to get land here in Ghana, man, these are some of the problems you're going to encounter if you don't do the right things to find out the right ways to lease the land here and who you're leasing the land from. Because a lot of these people are all mouth, bro. A lot of these people are all mouth, and you know, you got to understand that they're going to say whatever they're going to say to get what they need out your pocket, man. Because I found out this guy from the UK, if you look at his page, you swear, good morning, y'all. You swear he had everything all lined up. But this guy came over here with nothing, and he found a little system to get some money from people selling his land to foreigners and getting the money. Then they know what to do after that when stuff started falling through, so he ran away. So, you know, guys, look at that cease and desist, which is some BS, you know. I know that's nothing. You typed that up yourself, bro, and even misspelled my name in it. Bro, so, you know, you need to get real with yourself when you see this video and understand this here. I left the situation alone, and I'm going to leave it alone because you will not hinder my peace here, bro. You will not stop
anything. And that's what you want to do.
Bro. I don't know why this even came back up, but I woke up to your letter. So I'm going to entertain the internet right now and show them what you're doing. I'm going to put your name back out there. I saw Kiki Loves Nigeria do a whole live on you last night again because you sent her one too. I guess you sent Bernard one, you sent Regina one. Look. You sent all these people, these cease and desist, because you're trying to get your platform and your money back going.
Why you always bring your ass up here with this shit? Yeah. Harassing us. Look, you don't even own the place. You just a man.
Not on my watch, bro.
What?
Not on my watch. I'm going to keep flagging everything you do that you put on the internet until I get my money back in my hand. And if I don't, just understand the internet is not a safe place for you. I'm going to make sure it's not a safe place for you. I'm going to make sure anything you put up, people understand that what type of person you are. So all you guys watching this, man, I appreciate you guys for enjoying the content, but this is another lesson that you must learn when you come here. Know what you're doing and know who you're dealing with. Yeah, but this was a valuable lesson I learned, man. We already know how the internet works, man. But some of these people are put on the face on the internet, bro. Have you thinking something we get here, and then not like they put on the internet, and you gonna have to end up doing something to them just to save yourself, man. Let them know that they're not gonna play with you like that. And I'll see you guys later. All right? Yeah.
All right. So there was a lady over here. So that was the video Ghana Bound made. And a lady in the comment section, she was like, yeah, tell them yes, take it to court. A lot of people will be there for their money as well. And that's what I thought. And I said, when I wrote the Federal Trade Commission, I said, I believe I told them it was 200 people. It was 200 people. I thought it was 200 people who had lost their money doing in this group with this dude. So that was his response. And as you see, it is the same thing. He's saying the same thing to all of us because, again, what is he trying to do, y'all? He want to get money from us. All right, let me go over here and stop this. In my opinion, that's what he's trying to do to me, extort money out of me, honey, because I ain't told not one lie on nobody. All right, so that was Ghana Bound's response. Jam Jar says, allegedly, how did he come up with 60,000 in that amount? How is he trying to justify that money? Is that what he owes people? I don't know. He said I had 32,000 views on the videos, but I guess he's adding all the videos up because if you add up all the videos, it is about 32,000 views. And he's probably thinking I get paid a lot on YouTube. You know, I don't know. Or maybe he's thinking that's his injuries. He's lost that much money because of me. But that's not true because Daniel's downfall it was like by the time we had got a hold of it, he was on the run. Remember? They didn't know where he was by the time we got a hold of it. Him and the Cheese were going at it. And remember, somebody had got unalived in the village. It was already bad. It was terrible when we found out about it. So that's all a lie that we blew it up. We didn't blow up their spot. Daniel blew up the spot. All right. He is getting himself in more trouble. He is, because he didn't realize that. He should have asked Chat GPT, can I send this letter demanding $63,000 from this other public figure, because both of us are public figures. Can I do that? Demanding her to pay me money because she uses her YouTube channel to bring awareness. You should have asked Chat GPT that and see what they would have told you. London Lady said they're just being dressed up as cease and desist when in fact they're extortion, blackmail. Yeah, load. Yes, and that's what it is, to see who's going to pay him. That's exactly what they are. London Lady said he spent the pounds now, or most of it. Yes. Weren't all of his companies dissolved in the UK? Yes, they were. They were. The ones that had to do with the businesses in Ghana, they were. I think they were. I'm not going to say 100% sure of that, but I believe they were. Let me say that. I'm not sure. I can't remember right now. It was so much information. I can't remember. Yeah, that's what people are saying, that karma got him. Dude has leather hearing aids. It's y'all's fault for not doing your research. What? Dude has leather hearing aids. It's you all's fault for not doing your research. Well, yeah, because this dude he did this crazy video, man. I seen the video where he was talking about, he was in the music industry and he was part of the devil worship. He was getting into devil worshiping, or he was exposed to devil worshiping, one of the two. And that would have been enough for me to know this ain't nobody I'm trying to deal with. If he sued the banks, he surely would get more than, yes, if they falsely exactly closed his accounts go for the mega millions. Good point. Good point. The banks closed your bank account, his bank account's down. We didn't. So you're going to sue a YouTube content creator for $60-something thousand. No, you're not even suing me for it. You're demanding I give it to you so you don't sue me. And all these other people, I don't know what you plan on doing with them. He's just saying he's taking them to court and it's going to cost them more in court. And he's advising them to get lawyers now. And that's because they complained. You can't afford a lawyer to be, he can't afford a lawyer to be writing cease and desist nonsense. Ha ha ha. He's gone from real estate agent to lawyer now. Yeah. He'll be the Lion King next. 200. Yeah, it was 200 people. It was a lot. That group was unbelievable. That information was huge that I was getting on him. I mean, it was so many people, so many people. And some people still didn't want to say anything because, they were still hoping they would get their money. Lawyers charged per letter. No, it wasn't a lawyer. It was no lawyer. That's why I said, well, why don't you have a lawyer contacting me? Why are you contacting me using my legal name that you shouldn't even have and that you're spreading it around to everybody? He was spotted at the mall. He said that, no, he said I did that. Remember, I put that out there and that wasn't even my YouTube channel. Yeah, he did blow up the spot. Trying for Prison King. Or King P. Kiki can do this with her eyes closed. Real estate to law and still don't know what he's doing. Hey, Daniel, you can't have zero balance or they'll close your account. He said he had 60,000 in there. No, he said he had 6,000 in there. And they won't let him get it out. You said Photoshop a lawyer. All right, so then let me show you. Someone else wrote me. And this person wrote me recently. Like, I didn't know this person before this, right? This person had just wrote me. Let me show you what they said. Their letter was really kind of sad to me because this was really messed up. And he says, this is what Daniel is saying to them. And this was creepy, all right? That he actually, hold on, let me show y'all. That he's on my channel and he looks to see who's in the comment section and who's commenting. And if you say the wrong things, this person just happened to be on my channel. Hold on, I'm looking for the letter. They just happened to be, I guess they were in there commenting on something and he saw it. He saw what they had said. And unfortunately, this has caused them to wind up as they're getting some court papers too. They received some court papers also. All right, and this is their letter. So let me just make sure y'all can see this. This is the letter he wrote them. And this was unbelievable. I just can't believe this. All right, this is the letter he wrote to these people. He says to them, I am writing you directly. Let me make sure y'all can see this and hear this. All right, he says, I am writing you directly regarding your land and refund agreement. I'm going to call them Mr. Man and Miss Lady. Mr. Man, Daniel says to Mr. Man and Miss Lady, I am writing you directly regarding your land and refund agreement. First, I want to acknowledge that I should have been in better contact with you over these past months. But this is on me, and I apologize for the silence. The situation with the situation with our family has been extremely difficult. As you know from what we discussed in our last conversation in December of 2024, that is not an excuse, but I want you to know I have not been ignoring you out of disregard. So this man has, I guess it sounds like Daniel owed this man some money or some land, and the man wants the money back, and Daniel hasn't been responding to him, and Daniel has been pretty much ignoring him. And the man and Daniel's telling the man now, I'm sorry, but I was sick. Did he say he was sick? Acknowledge he had problems with his family. He was having problems with his family, and he apologized, and he wasn't ignoring him and all that. So now we're in October. No, I don't know what month this is. I'm not going to say October. That was in December. All right. So let's see what he says now. The refund agreement I issued on October 23rd, 2024 is still valid, and I intend to honor it. So that sounds good, right, y'all? I intend to honor this agreement. Now, this is in an email he sent to this man. I'm not making this up. This is a fact. If you read this, you're going to read the same thing I read. All right. As stated in the agreement, the refund is contingent on the land being sold. Red flag, red flag, red flag. The situation with the chief and the ongoing disputes in that area remain unresolved, which is the reason for the delay. Red flag, red flag, red flag. When I'm reading this, my opinion from doing all of these shows and from studying history, my opinion is that you probably will not get this money back. You probably won't get this land or this money back simply because it's contingent upon the land being sold. This is not within my control. See, so it's not within his control. And the way the contract is written, people will say, well, it's not within his control, but you can't, let's just continue. Let's read the rest. Listen to y'all. I also need to address something serious. So first, it's not serious that I'm not giving you your money back. Basically, he's saying, I don't have no control over you getting your money back. You probably won't get your money back. That's what I got from this. The refund agreement was issued in October. It's still valid. He intends to honor it. He says he intends to honor it. But the refund is contingent on the land being sold. The land has not sold. There's a dispute with the chiefs, an ongoing dispute with the chiefs that remains unresolved, which is the reason for the delays. And basically, he says this is all out of my control when you're going to get your money back. Then he switches and he says, but I need to address something. He didn't say but. He says, I also need to address something serious. You have been posting comments on Kiki Loves Nigeria's YouTube channel publicly asking for my address and directing threatening language towards me and my wife. Now, that right there, YouTube is not going to let you do that. You know how people will say, oh, Kiki, you deleted the comment. No, some comments I don't get a chance to delete. If you say certain things, like asking for somebody's address, or threatening somebody, YouTube's not going to let you do that. They're not going to let you do that. And if I see something like that, I'm going to delete that comment because I don't like that. That's one thing I don't do. I don't dox people's information. Although people they dox my information all the time, I don't do that to people. I have moral codes and ethics. When I started my YouTube channel, I set up my own moral codes and my own ethical stance. Whatever I stood for, this, what I decided my channel was going to stand for ethically. Okay. So let's finish this. YouTube channel publicly asking for so that's why I find that very difficult to believe, because when they did that, when Black Acres did that to me, they said they told people to write the State Department. All right. They told them to write the State Department. They didn't ask for my address. publicly, okay? But I believe they got it. They got my name, they got whatever. I don't know what they got, but they got stuff. I know they have my name legally because I've had to have it removed several times. So let's see. So then that's what you do. When people do stuff like that, you just write YouTube and YouTube will remove it. And if they don't remove it, YouTube remove it and YouTube will take your video now or your whatever it is with their legal name in it. So YouTube doesn't play that. And another thing I want to tell y'all, people have written me and asked me for ES's address and her real name. People have written me and asked me about Harmony from Exodus family, trying to get her private information. I don't do that. I don't do that, people. I am not a dirty YouTube content creator. I don't do that. And y'all know I could give two sticks about ES, but I'm not going to give anybody her address. I'm not going to give anybody her name. I'm not going to give you, if you don't have her private information, honey, I'm not giving it to you. I am not giving it to you. And this person was like, well, we just want to know because, you know, she's trying to do some kind of business with us. And we just want to make sure she's who she says she is. And, you know, we're just kind of trying to be cautious. But I'm like, well, watch her videos. Watch videos about her. You know, put her name in YouTube and look her up. But I'm not giving you any information about her. And so then, you know, they were like, well, Kiki, you know, that's why we respect you because you're on and, you know, what you stand for and blah, 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 blah. And so they asked me, they said, well, let me ask you this. Would you do business with her? And I said, no, I would not. No, I would not. But did I give them that woman's address? No. Would I give them that woman's address and her name? No, I'm not giving nobody none of that. Listen to this. That channel is subject to an active harassment and defamation investigation. That's a lie. That's defamation right there. That's a lie. A huge lie. My channel is a part of YouTube's content creator community. All right. It is not under any type of investigation, harassment, none of that. None of that. That's a lie. And then whatever frustration you feel posting my personal details, they don't let you. So now he's saying he posted the personal details or requesting my address in a hostile public forum puts my family at risk. That is a whole lie, y'all. See how this man wants himself to be the victim? But I'm sure he should. If this happened, he should have screenshots of this. I must ask you to stop this immediately. Stop posting on Kiki Loves Nigeria. I don't believe this man is doing this stuff because it's my YouTube channel and I've never seen any of that. If you wish to pursue this through legal channels, that is your right and I will cooperate fully. But I would encourage you to seek independent legal advice first, as the refund agreement clearly states, clearly sets out terms we both agreed to. We will be in contact with you to provide an update on the land situation to discuss next steps for either completing our land transfer or processing your refund once conditions allow. Wow, this is sad. Please do not first any further comments requesting my address or directing threats towards my family. If this continues, I will have no choice but to include you in the ongoing legal proceedings. Okay, now look, y'all. This is a threat. This is in my opinion. This is another one. This man. So he's telling him, because for one, you can't come on YouTube and make threats in the comment section. YouTube gonna delete that comment. You can't come on here saying, give me so-and-so's home address. You can't do that. And if YouTube doesn't delete it, I'm gonna delete it because I don't allow people to do that on my channel. My channel isn't like that. So where he's getting this information from, I hope he has screenshots to prove this. I hope he does. Lion King Lawyers LLC. Oh my God. Humility and experience. Have my bull meter turned to the near perfection? I know dude was a fraud instantly. That's what team member says. Hey team member. Okay. The letter proves he broke an agreement. He wants to change the goalpost now, contingent on land sale. What? Yes. No. I'm gonna show y'all. The guy sent me, the person he wrote this to, he sent me a let me show y'all what he sent me. He sent me the agreement. And I'm going to show y'all the agreement. And when I looked at the agreement, the first thing when I saw that it said it's contingent upon you selling the land back, I'm like, why would y'all sign that? Why would you agree to that? That is too iffy. What if you don't ever get the land sold back? So that means I'm never going to get my money back? Hold on. I'm like, is that what that means? I'm never going to get my money back? And how long is that going to take? See, this is the refund agreement for the land resale. So look, it says, the buyer has purchased land from the seller in accordance to the terms. Now, this land was purchased in 2023. Wow, look how much he paid for it. Whereas the buyer now seeks a refund for $12,500. So that's about $1,500 US dollars for the purchase of 6 acres of land, which shall be contingent upon the resale of the land by the seller. So the seller has to resell the land. And how do you know he's going to sell it for $12,500? He may say, I didn't get $12,500, so I can't give you that. That is very risky, people. When I see something like that, I would never do that. Now, therefore, the parties agree as follows. This is what he agreed to. A refund upon resale, so he can't get his money. The buyer acknowledged that the seller cannot provide a time frame. Wow, Jesus. I can't even give you a time frame when I get the money, when I'm going to give you the money back. The seller agrees to notify the buyer in writing upon a successful resale. Upon the resale of the land, the seller will issue a refund to the buyer within a number of days, but he doesn't even have the number of days listed. He just has it in brackets, number of days, but it doesn't say when. After the completion of the resale transaction, the refund will be made through, and he doesn't tell you how long it's going to take you to get the money, and he doesn't tell you how you're going to get the money. The buyer agrees to cooperate in good faith during the resale process, including providing any necessary documentation or authorization required to facilitate the sale. So they entered into the agreement. The agreement constituted an entire understanding between the parties. So this is his refund policy, right? Y'all know when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that don't look right. I was like, oh no, that don't look right and that don't sound right. Especially that part about a contingent upon when he sells it. Oh no, that's really bad. So I asked AI about it, right? So he said the refund of conditional, first thing he came up with is a major risk was the refund is conditional on resale. The agreement says you only get the money back after the seller sells the land. That means you have no guaranteed refund date or any refund at all because it's so vague. You're not guaranteed any refund at all because they don't give you a date. They don't give you how long it's going to take. Nothing. If the land never sells, you never see your money again. And that's what I said. This is a common tactic to delay or avoid repayment indefinitely. No specific time frame. Remember I told you there was no time frame? It explicitly says no specified time frame. That's a big problem because there's no deadline for resale. There's no deadline for the refund. That gives the seller total control and removes what? Accountability. Incomplete clauses. That's the one I'm telling you about, the brackets. Number of days, how long it's going to take you to get your money back once we sell the land, and the method we're going to use to give you the money once we sell the land. These should never be left blank in a real legal agreement. And that was supposed to be a real legal agreement. It suggests the document is unfinished or is a generic template, not a finalized contract. This is a one-sided obligation. You, the buyer, must, and Daniel told them, you must cooperate and you must provide documents. But the seller has no penalties for delay, has no enforced obligation to actually complete the resale. This imbalance is a red flag in contracts tied to scams. This imbalance is a red flag in contracts tied to scams. So what they're saying is they see this type of imbalance in contracts that are tied to scam. Not that this contract is a scam, that they see this in contracts that are tied to scams. No legal enforcement details. A proper agreement should include governing law, like what states and whatever, a dispute resolution, whether we're going to go to court, blah, 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 and how to address both parties. And if you notice, there's only one signature on the paper. Yeah. This document is weak, incomplete, and heavily favors the seller. It does not protect you in any meaningful way. At best, it is poorly written. At worst, it is a deliberate delay tactic or a scam framework. Wow. All right. So, wow. Let me see what y'all got to say about that. These shysters are something else. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Please hit the like button. T&K shooting herself in the foot. London lady says, the way he's acting and writing, he floats. He don't need feet. She said Daniel is shooting himself in the foot. T&K said Daniel is shooting himself. She said T&K Daniel is shooting himself in the foot. That's an accusation he can't prove. Where did this person ask for his address? How can he prove it? Exactly. But the thing is, not only can he not prove it, YouTube doesn't allow that. They have automatically, they'll go through and delete your comment. I've had comments where I've said things like I'll be arguing with people and they don't like you can't call people a hood, R-A-T. They'll delete your comment for that. So it's like certain things you cannot say, and YouTube has it set up where you can't say that, and they will delete your comment. So I'm not sure where this person was supposedly on here talking about his family, making threats and all of this, because I never seen the comment. And asking for his address. Yeah. I don't know where. Yeah. Like you said, where's the proof? You should have screenshot that. It's not my land agreements have an IDA. Yes. Okay. Clause. If you as a seller don't perform, all of your money may be lost. Yep. That's pretty much what it said. Here we go with Kiki Loves Nigeria. He is obsessed with this channel. Yeah, I told you, Daniel, we have morals over here. Kiki conducts the show, and we will have our own opinions. You are a shyster, just like the others. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what kind of power he think I got. Pardon me, not a seller, but a buyer. If people wanted to part with thousands of dollars, surely they at least know the person's address. Oh, thank you. You're right. You better say that. Yeah, you're right, London Lady. Why wouldn't you have that? ES is the empress of shysters. Kiki is an upright citizen. Why would she be like Daniel? Right. I'm not doing that. I wasn't giving him. I don't care. I'm not giving you that woman's name and address. And I know her real name. Is your wife giving you what? Why are you angry all of a sudden? That's a good question. Exactly, Steph says. Either Kiki, YouTube, or Matt will delete. Yeah, they will. The mod will delete it, such a request. Exactly. So that's why I said that's a lie. We wouldn't do that. No, we don't do that over here. Steph said, you are correct. These people lie too much. They sure do. Most of the agreements are written to where you as a buyer must perform. Yes, or lose your interest. Exactly. They are. And that's what I was saying, that this is for the seller, not for you. I doubt the land resale was in the agreement. He thinks a sob story is going to let him change the contract. Much BS. Such BS. Sounds like a scam. Please hit the like button, everybody. Okay. Refund policy. It's a fraudster to me. Team member, you never know which team you want to be on, do you? All right, so let's see what I have next on here. So we looked at that, all right? So I wanted you just to see that contract and see that email that he sent this person. Now, he said we doxed it. Y'all know we wasn't doing that. Then there's something else I want to tell y'all about. It's called the SLAPP doctrine, all right? So let's talk about the SLAPP doctrine. Then we're going to get off here because I don't want y'all to worry about, are you allowed to do this? Or are you not allowed to do that? All right. So legit. So first we're going to talk about harassment. So wait, let me go up here. Is it up here? I want to make sure I'm in order. And we talked about the refund policy. And we talked about, everybody's letter. Yeah, we did that. Okay. Let me make sure we did that part. Now let's talk about this. And this will be our last point for the night. Harassment versus consumer complaints. Now let's talk about harassment, because people want to throw harassment around. He keeps saying we harassing him. All right, harassment. Legitimate complaints are not harassment, people. A legitimate complaint is not a harassment. If multiple people paid for something and multiple people is 200, paid for something and didn't receive it, and they are speaking out, this is called consumer action. All right? It's called consumer action. It is not called harassment. It is not called, It is not called harassment. It is not called bullying. It's called consumer action. Harassment, and you got to remember, this is a public figure. We are not talking about a private individual. The consumer, these customers are private individuals, but Daniel is not a private individual, and I am not considered a private individual. Harassment typically requires repeated targeted behavior, intent to cause distress, like he's doing these people, intending to cause these people distress. Threats or intimidation. I'm going to sue you, and if you don't give me this $63,000, I'm going to take you to court. I took that as a threat, and I took that as intimidation. Or coordinated attacks. Now, criminal harassment of a private citizen. This is what I want y'all to understand. For a private citizen, criminal harassment occurs when an offender knowingly and willfully engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific person that serves no legitimate purpose and causes reasonable fear, alarm, or substantial emotional distress. And in my opinion, I think that's what those letters did. And I think that was the goal, the purpose of those letters. I don't know what Daniel's intent was. He said it was to file lawsuits, but why not just file the lawsuits? Why threaten to sue us? And especially these private citizens, why do them like that? And especially after all this time, he just came back and you just, for what? They don't even know why. We don't even know why. Because you admitted that you owe these people money. You admitted that. So I'm not sure why you're trying to sue these people when you admitted yourself that you owe these people money. You even have a contract that says you can owe them money forever. So, and this is another thing when he says we're harassing them. So repeated. So let me tell you what a pattern of behavior is. It is repeated calls. It's like following a person, and it's electronically me messaging him directly. All right. That's what it is. Nobody's doing that. Who's contacting this fool? Nobody's contacting him. Nobody's emailing him. Nobody's writing him. None of that is true. And if they're writing him about the money that he owes them. Because private citizens have not sought out public attention, they are entitled to a higher degree of privacy. So these people he's sending this to, they're entitled to a very high degree of privacy. Conduct that might be tolerated by public venting, like he's sending them these letters against the leader, is more easily prosecuted as harassment than directed at a private individual. So look, you can talking about people, like how he's talking about these people, how he made that video. Remember how he made that video about them customers? That's what you cannot do. That's what you cannot do. Though all those people he made those videos about were private individuals. Bernard, I believe, had a YouTube channel and got bound. That was it. Those are the two they would be considered public figures. But everybody else, no, that he talked about like that, those customers, no. Yeah, those are private individuals, and you can't do public venting against private individuals. I'm just making sure that's what it says. It's a conduct that might be tolerated as a public venting against a leader is more easily prosecuted as harassment than when directed at a private. Yep, that's exactly it. So you can publicly vent about Daniel because Daniel's a public person and he's the leader of the dang on group. But you cannot, what he's doing about these members of the group and making videos about them, you can't do that. That's harassment. Criminal harassment to a public figure. A public figure generally includes government officials, celebrities, or individuals who have thrust themselves into the forefront of a public controversy. So when you get on social media and you get on YouTube, you have thrust yourself in the middle of a forefront of a public controversy. All right. Harassment of public figures occurs when the content crosses the line from constitutionally protected free speech, which is what I do, like harass, criticize, protect, into targeted threats, stalking, and physical intimidation. Boy, ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing that to him. Nobody. No soul is doing that to him. That's why I said this is intimidation. This is him trying to intimidate me, and ain't nobody going for that. So there's different measures for different people, like private citizens. Like I said, you can't do much to them. You can't talk about them. You can't put their business out on social media. You can't do any of that. So let me get back over here to y'all, and then I'm gonna tell y'all about the SLAPP, and then we're gonna get off here real quick. Oh, it's a scam, no doubt about TNK. You are on point. I am sticky business reading fundamental. What? I can't see that. I am strictly business reading is fundamental. Okay. Team member. Okay, y'all talking to team member. These writings, letters sent provides of evidence the people need. They sure do. That's why I said these are evidence that they need these evidence. This is evidence of what he does. This is evidence of what he does. And poor Regina, she said she responded to him talking about she's trying to get on with her life and she's moved on with her life. And I wouldn't have responded to that. I didn't respond. Y'all, so my response is in these videos. I respond publicly. Yeah, I respond publicly and I respond with data. All right. I respond with facts. I can't see that. What does that one say? I don't suffer fools lightly. I don't like my friends getting worked up. Oh, y'all talking. Okay. Daniel is a liar. Rosie says something. Sometimes he is serious and I have to push him off the porch to take a walk. Okay. Y'all talking about team member. Giving bun means cheating in Jamaica. Okay. Okay. Let me see what else. Okay. Daniel King is digging a deeper hole for himself. Yes, he already has. You must drive your people crazy. And what? Wait a minute. What team member say? Oh, she's talking to team member. Okay. The legitimate complaint is not a harassment. Exactly. And that's what they were saying. What is the issue? A dude didn't pass the stiff test. His contract was kind of legit. Okay. Y'all talking to him. There wasn't a letter before action. That was a silly letter that couldn't be seen, that could be seen as extortion. Exactly. That wasn't a letter before action. A letter before action wouldn't be trying to extort money out of me. They would have. That's why I said he should have ran that letter through and said, could this be taken in any type of way? Well, yeah. So let me tell you why. This is really something that you don't want to do, because there are laws against people do this. All right. Business people do this. People with money do this. If they feel like you are going to affect their bottom line, and even if it's true, they will take you to court. Even if they know they're going to lose. Okay. And this is called the strategic lawsuit against public participation. So in short term, it's called SLAPP. All right. And so SLAPP is a law that they pass. All right. And these are lawsuits or threats of lawsuits, and they're used to silence criticism, intimidate people, or discourage public discussions, which is exactly what we do on this channel. Common signs of a SLAPP behavior. This is what I want y'all to look at. Threatening multiple people with similar language. What did I show you guys tonight? He threatened what? Multiple people with similar language. What else did he do? Reinforcing lawsuits without filing them. Referencing lawsuits without filing them. So if you're going to reference the lawsuit, why not file the lawsuit? Why are you telling us about it? Targeted speech about customers' issues. Targeting speech about consumer issues. So did he target speech? Yes. He's mad because you went and complained about him using legal language to create fear. Was he using legal language to create fear? In my opinion, yes, he was. Now, I'm not saying that's what this is, but what I'm saying is that's the pattern people should be aware of. When people try to sue you and they're doing this, that's usually slapness going on. So let me tell you about Ohio real quick, and we're getting off of here, because you need to know, Daniel, it's not that simple. In 2025, the Uniform Public Expression Protection Act and Anti-SLAPP law. Here's what it means. It says you can request. So if Daniel files this lawsuit, I'm going to countersue instantly. And this is what you people listening to me, if he actually sues you, this is what you all need to do. You need to file a countersuit against him. All right. And it's a SLAPP lawsuit. And what will happen is you will get, you're asking for an early dismissal. And what happens is they have to hurry up and present why they think they're going to win this case. All right. And if they lose the case, say the judge okays it, and if they lose the case, then they have to pay all your legal fees. So what is protected? Speaking on matters of public concern. And that's what we do. And that's what those individuals who wrote me did. They spoke out on matters of public concern, and they filed consumer complaints. We all did. I filed mine today with the Federal Trade Commission, and I don't know, I'm not going to say for sure whether they filed theirs, because he suspects these are the people who filed against him, and he's trying to get the information, and I'm not going to say they did because I don't know. Speaking out on, reporting alleged misconduct, and that's what I did, and that's what others did. Nobody made false statements. There was no false statements presented on my channel to my knowledge. These people have not written me and just given me false information. They've had receipts to back up what they say. Personal attacks, we've not personally attacked anybody. We don't dox his information. We don't do any of that. But he sure personally attacked these people, the people who spoke out against him. He attacked them on his channel. All right. So what we have multiple individuals receiving similar emails, accusations of a coordinated behavior, reference to legal consequences, and a broader public discussion happening online. And that's what we were having all at the same time. So it is not as easy as he thinks. That's why I said he didn't ask AI the right questions, because Daniel presented himself as if he was a private individual. No, he's not a private individual. He is a public figure. All right. And this public figure has complaints against him. And my channel provided these people with that place to go to complain. All right. And that's what we did. And that's what these people have done. And these people should not be feeling like they're going to have to go to court now because they wanted to make the public aware of what was going on. All right. So that's it for tonight, because I'm sleepy. And we talked about Ohio. I just wanted to break that down and show y'all all the other people. Now we're done with that. All right. I put it all out. I told y'all about everybody who else. If there's other people, though, out there, I do have one couple. If they send me some more information, I will do a story about their situation with Daniel. I will do their story. But other than that, that's all we have about Daniel. But I'm sure there'll be new news. As soon as I hear something else, I'll let y'all know. But we are going to be talking about, we need to get back to Gambia, because y'all remember PVTV, right? They're called the Vegas Group now or something like that. Vegas Building. But we got to talk about them now. All right. This, we're going to talk about them next week. We're going to go back to Gambia and talk about them. We're going to talk about a lawsuit that they have. All right. And talk about that. Unless there's something else to come up. Harassing and stealing from elders has harsher laws. It sure does. It sure does. Here too. In the United States, it has harsher laws. Because on that form, guess what they ask? How old are you? That's what the Federal Trade Commission wants to know, your age. I said he had leather hearing aids. That is funny. So I am not Daniel. You silly leather hearing aids. Y'all know what he talking about. Them things that was hanging off his ears. The letter is extortion. I thought so too. The letter, what is the layer? The hearing aids. The hearing aids. Okay. If you have to explain the joke, it's not funny. No, big team member, it's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore. Too many people had to explain it. He himself has officially given all the proof needed. He sure has. Thank you. Nobody knows what he means here. Please hit the like button, y'all. Oh, and y'all, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yep, because we're almost at 5,000. That'll be really good when we get to 5,000. Hey, TNK says, welcome to Kiki School of Life. Please hit the like button. Help us get the work out. Wait a minute. Help. Oh, God, I'm getting sleepy, y'all. Can't even read. Welcome to Kiki School of Life. Please hit the like button and the thumbs up and help her work on her book. Yes. Yes, because I need to work on that book. I've been so busy at school. A chapter will be dedicated to the life. Oh, you know it is. You know. The Ghana people going to have their own little section. They're going to have their own volume because Ghana is wild. That's where the passport grannies are. They are wild. Ghana is wild. Gambian repass is wild, but they ain't wild like that. I'm glad she called him on extortion. DK done gone and messed up again with the wrong one, shaking my head. He just won't learn. No, he shouldn't have. And that's what I reported you for, honey. Extortion. Team members got me in trouble in class, acting up like back here. A letter before action is a letter you write when you are about to take somebody to court. It's like a warning. I sent a letter before action before I took and somebody to small claims court. Oh, she took somebody to small. Okay. Okay, before you proceed to go to court. Right, we figured it was that, but I didn't think it had all those threats in it. I thought it was, okay, this is what's going to happen. You know, I'm going to court, and why I'm going to court is this. But I didn't think it was I didn't think they threatened you. He'll have to fly back and forth to the U.S. Oh, God. In a legal context, SLAPP refers to the SLAPP, the strategic law against public participation or form of abusive litigation meant to silence critics. She's absolutely right. And that's what it is. It's meant to silence your critics. And that's all. But it doesn't work like that. Not over here, it don't. Kiki, I will take him to court. Kiki, I will take him to court. He brings me out this. I'll comment if, wait a minute, I can't see that. Let me make it big. I will take him to court. He brings me onto this. I'll comment if I want to. Freedom of speech, weirdo Daniel. Yes. Yes, it is freedom of speech. And nobody's lying. I got hold of the evidence they tried to conceal. They'll have to hand deliver my letter. My email was hacked. TNK, if he has a record, banks closing accounts as British citizens, doubt he'll be allowed to enter the U.S. under the current climate. Oh, yeah, that's true. It may be 200 people, Kiki. Yeah, that's what I heard. They said it was 200. Taking us to court, he picked the right ones. He sure did. His attorney won't know what he don't have no attorney, honey. It's expensive to have an attorney, especially for this. And I looked it up, and they said to sue somebody in the United States for freedom of speech, that's going to be hard. They said it's going to be really hard unless I just flat out lied and knew it was a lie. But they said it's really, especially this with the SLAPP doctrine we have here, they said it's real hard to sue here for that, and it's really expensive. So he has to have a lot of money to sue me also. Oh, good. I'm glad, because, girl, I'm so sleepy. You just don't know. Y'all, it's the end of the school year, and it'd be hard. It'd be hard work, and I'm so sleepy. I was hoping I was making sense, because it's complex, and I was trying to make sure y'all understood, because I don't want the people to feel scared. You know what I mean? The people who wrote the letters and the people who spoke out, I don't want them to feel scared. Stealing from the elderly is disgusting. Kiki did not break one sweat bead. Oh, good. In June, I'll be a senior. Aw, congratulations. I'm going to talk about the lady who was unalived in Tanzania. Are we going to talk about the lady who was unalived in Tanzania by her fiance? No, I'm not going to talk about that. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because I know y'all like, why? Because Africa just happened to be the place where it happened. Tanzania just happens to be the place where it happened. You know, that relationship, I don't think that situation and that relationship had anything really to do with Africa or Tanzania. It just happened there. So that's why I'm not going to talk about it. Like most of the people I talk about who passed away in Africa, they had some kind of love for Africa. They wanted to be there. You know what I mean? They turned their back on their families to be there. They weren't just there with their boyfriends or their fiancés, and then they got in an argument, and then they was fighting all night, and then, you know, somebody did something. That's more like a DB situation than it is what we talk about over here, you know? So that's why I'm not going to talk about it. Team member, when did that happen? Very sad. It happened, it's been a while, maybe 2 weeks ago. With her fiance, yeah. I thought I said something last week. Yeah, it happened, I think, they argued, and that's, yeah. Okay, y'all. Yes, but he should have entitled it a letter before action. Oh, okay. If he didn't, then it isn't. It isn't worth the email paper it's written on. He's just grappling for attention and chasing for cash. That's exactly what he's doing, hoping somebody will be scared and just sending some money. All subscribers and replay gang, please tell your friends to tell their friends to subscribe. To subscribe, like, and share Kiki's videos. Thank you so much. All right. He's a grifter getting around looking for money. All right, y'all. Oh, that's poor girl. That was sad. May she rest in peace. Yeah, that was sad. Right, Kiki. The Ashley story is not within our framework. No, it don't have nothing to do with us. I paid close attention. I'm like, nah, we don't talk about none of that. That whole situation, no. I understand your point, Kiki. Yes, you are right. Not what we cover over here. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Right. We don't need to address that case. However, you may be interested in watching a video Kiki did last year about what happened to K&K Squad in Tanzania. Yeah, we talked about that for a while. Do you remember, was you here then? When K&K Squad, what happened to her in Tanzania? Look at Steph doing research and assigning homework. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Kiki Loves Nigeria. I hope you enjoyed the chat. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. All right, y'all. Steph is either in marketing or sales. I know, because she's real good at it. All right, y'all. So that's all for tonight. We are out of here. I wanted to just share the responses and let y'all know how many people has received these letters and what was going on with that. So next week, we're going back to the Gambia. And again, we're going to talk about, they used to be called PVTV. And this is really sad, but somebody took them to court, and it's not alleged. Well, if they won the case, So we're going to talk about it because they want us to bring awareness to people and they don't want y'all doing business with them. Yeah. They don't want y'all doing business with him. But we're going to let y'all decide. I'm going to present the facts to y'all next week, and I'm going to let y'all decide. All right. I love y'all so very much. Thank you for coming on here. We was only on here for 2 hours tonight. Oh, that's good. All right. I will talk to y'all next week. Y'all have a great weekend. All right. Rest of the weekend. And oh, don't forget, I'll be in, where am I going? Gambia. I was about to say Nigeria. Don't forget, I will be in Nigeria. Oh, shoot. I will be in Gambia soon. Soon. You know I like to surprise you when you just turn on the TV and you'll be like, what? She in Africa. Yep, I'll be in Africa soon. So make sure you subscribe to the channel because y'all know it get wild when I go to Africa. Ooh, it ain't no telling what's going to happen. But look, this house we're staying at this time, y'all, it looks really nice. She told me it has a patio, like a little, you know, those little banta bars, but this one is a private one. And she said I can see the highway at night. Like when I sit out there, it overlooks the highway. So y'all know we're going to be sitting out there doing videos overlooking the highway, having a lot of good times talking. All right, y'all. I'm excited to be, and I'm thankful to be able to go back to Gambia again. I really am. I am excited that I'm going back to Gambia again. So, and I feel blessed because a lot of people couldn't go. A lot of people want to go and can't go. So I'm blessed that I can. So y'all need y'all to go on that ride with me because y'all know how we have to talk about stuff. All right, y'all, that's all I have tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We'll be back on here next week talking about another situation going on in our community with another consumer alert. Next weekend, it's another consumer alert. All right, I love y'all so very much, and I will see y'all next week. All right, bye-bye.